Hi everyone, my name is Mick, and I wanted to share the darkest experience of my life. This is a story about how I nearly died once, and it's a miracle I'm able to tell you the story right now. This is what happened to me. My family live in a pretty isolated area. Our house is outside a small town, and it's more like countryside than urban district. I usually go to school by bike down a country road. It's a very beautiful route across the fields and the woods, and there's also a local river on my way. It's not deep, but it is very quick, and with lots of stones and rapids. Indeed, I never go swimming there because it's impossible. You can break all your bones there. But it is nice to observe from above when I'm passing on the banks on my bike. At least it was nice until one horrible thing happened to me, once when I was 14. I was returning home from school on my bicycle as usual. It had been raining heavily all day long, and I had to wait in the town until it passed. When rain finally stopped, I could go home. Our country road wasn't covered in asphalt, and it was pretty slippery. But I didn't think it was dangerous at all. I had done it 1,000 times before. I kept good control of my bicycle, and was heading towards my house. I was on the riverbank that was quite high, and I heard the river roaring. After heavy rain, it usually got much higher and quicker. I didn't like the sound and acceleration, when suddenly things went out of control. My wheel slipped on the road, and in order to keep balance, I had to twist my handlebars to the left. I didn't calculate the movement. That was how my bike slipped down the steep slope and brought me straight into the river. I wasn't even scared. It was so unexpected that my first movements were purely automatic. The river was deep, and I couldn't reach the bottom with my feet, and neither could I hold the bike. It went under and dragged me behind. That's when I made my first mistake. I let it go. Or better, I let it stay, and didn't find anything to stick to. I was in huge trouble. First shock already passed, and I started swimming in order to keep my head above water. But here I made mistake number 2. I was trying to swim against the current. I heard throughout my life that if you were in a quick stream, you should try to swim towards the bank. But I was feeling first panic attacks, and I didn't think about that. I just did the first thing that occurred to me instinctively. But I couldn't orient very well, and I was underwater most of the time. I definitely had no hope to come out alive from that river. It had rapids, lots of huge sharp stones, and the water was throwing me against them with all its force. I got bruised at once, and maybe even broke something. But in the cold water, I didn't feel much pain. I was shouting, the water came into my mouth, and I didn't have any possibility to breathe. That's when I started panicking, and panic was my mistake number 3, even if you can't help it. My lungs already hurt, I was scared, I was about to faint because I lacked oxygen and had too much adrenaline in my blood. And that was when all my life flashed before my eyes. My family, my brother, my sister who sometimes bullies me but loves me so much, and my strict but caring parents. My adorable grandparents who never had a single angry word for me. My school I sometimes hated but had so much fun there. My dog, who'd be looking for me for months if I got lost in that river. A girl who lived nearby. I never had the courage to come up and tell her I liked her. The fields and the woods where I grew up. With these thoughts, I was about to faint. I didn't have any force to struggle anymore. Every square inch of my body hurt, and my lungs refused to take a breath. When in the last flash of force, I got smashed. Some kind of a root or thick twig. I grabbed it tightly, dragged myself up over it, and lost my sense. As in a movie, I woke up in an ambulance car. All my body hurt, and I was alive. Alive! I saw my dad beside me, scared and wet, and relieved. Lost my senses again. Turned out when I was not turning home and didn't answer my phone, Dad went to look for me and saw a track of a bike leading into the water. He understood everything and ran along the bank to look for me. I was nowhere to be seen, and desperate he called 911. They managed to find me around 3 miles downstream, bending over some root, totally senseless. I had several broken bones, shocked and hypothermia, but all in all it went well for me. Much worse for my dad, who was close to a heart attack that evening. So this is my story. Again, I'm so glad I'm able to tell you now. From that moment I started valuing my life more. I became more caring towards everyone I knew, because I understood what things really meant when I was about to die. And after all, I found courage to approach that girl I liked. Even if sometimes such things may seem scarier than taking a swim in cold water. I hope no one of you would find yourself in such a situation. However, share this video so that everyone knows what mistakes should be avoided while swimming in the river.